Welcome to Behind the Curtain, Nashville's movers, shakers,
and tastemakers.
Brought to you by Cord Real Estate, your key to the heart of Nashville. I'm Steve Luther alongside my co-host Van Hoy.
Here we peel back the layers of Nashville's vibrant scene, sitting down with the innovators, creators, and leaders who shape our city. From music to business and everything in between, we dive into the journeys that have brought them to where they are today.
We're here to uncover the stories behind the success, the passion driving their pursuits, and why they've chosen Nashville as their stage. It's about the people who dream big, push boundaries, and make this city truly unique.
So join us as we explore the heart and soul of Nashville through the eyes of those who know it best.
Well, today we're thrilled to welcome Sandy Schadler, a distinguished leader in the travel industry and the Chief Marketing Officer and Executive Vice President of Vacation Travel Services at Travelink. Sandy's career is marked by a deep commitment to enhancing the luxury travel experience through strategic innovation and expert brand stewardship. Alongside her pivotal role at Travelink, Sandy serves on the advisory boards for Marriott International Luxury Brands and Travel and Leisure Magazine, where she helps shape the future of luxury travel. Her expertise not only aligns with Travelink's mission to deliver exceptional travel services, but also resonates with our passion for global exploration at Cord Real Estate.
I love this.
Sandy, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me. It's wonderful to be here.
I'm excited you're here.
I'm excited to be here. It's a gorgeous day in Nashville.
I'm assuming they've edited out all the stuff that happened before we
I hope so.
got started,
Probably.
so they don't even know how much fun we're already having.
It's a gorgeous day in Bora Bora too, which I don't know if you can really make that out, but that's Bora Bora.
Wow.
It generally is a gorgeous day.
Yeah.
I've never been to Bora Bora. I bet it's not Bora in Bora Bora. Never a Bora day. Oh,
So,
the dad joke. I'm a dad.
So give us some background, Sandy. Let's talk about kind of how you get started, what brought you to the travel industry, what your role is now.
Well, I could say a car brought me, but it would be quite true because I did start in the automotive industry. So
did you really?
I did.
Tell us.
I spent about 16 years leading digital marketing efforts, and so I came down here. I was one of the many that relocated from Detroit with Nissan. I got recruited out of Detroit.
Michigan person,
yeah.
My wife Ashley is from Michigan. I think
there's a lot.
And she's done a lot of work with Nissan because she's fluent in Japanese.
Oh,
works with their folks who come over from Japan.
She's U of M though. Ashley's Michigan State. So.
See, my husband is Michigan State.
Right,
we actually have one of those house divided flags out front when we play each other. So yeah, I'm a Wolverine. He's a Spartan.
You're like always showing people where you're from and where he's from.
Oh, of course, that is a rule. So I'm originally from St. Joseph down here in the corner, about an hour and a half from the Loop in Chicago. But we came down to Detroit.
Wow.
There you go.
That was 15 years ago now. So I've been around Nashville for a while to see it explode the way it has. It's been amazing. It's
pretty great.
And so, we came down. We have 4 kids. We raised them here. Basically, our youngest are twins, and they just graduated high school a couple of weeks ago.
Ours graduated too. He has a
son. My middle son and
my oldest.
We've been busy.
Yes.
It was a good year. 2006 was
been great. Oh, that's true. That's true.
Of course, the first thing they wanted to do was travel.
Yeah.
It is a big thing. Right. It is actually a fantastic
way to keep us on task.
I know he's so good at that. It's a great graduation present. Obviously, honeymoons, weddings, all of that. But there's nothing like opening up the world with your kids.
Right.
Some of my most cherished travel memories personally are when I've been able to take my kids and we do mom trips. So one-on-one to where I get to take them somewhere. So my oldest, who went with me first, he came with me on a travel and leisure trip actually when we were doing all of Switzerland. Wow. And so he got to come and do about a week and a half in Switzerland, all over. We started in St. Moritz and went through Lucerne. We checked out new hotel resorts. We check out the sites, everything there is to see so that we know we can bring it back to the other travel advisors and we know what there is to do, how we get VIP access to things for our clients.
That's the key.
Exactly.
Like, I don't want to go if I'm not going to be VIP.
Exactly. But bringing your kids on that, they tend to love that.
Yes, they do.
And now they have that champagne taste and they don't have that budget.
But it makes you want to work hard though.
It's true.
We took our kids all over the Caribbean growing up and we're actually buying a couple condos down in Panama now, but that kind of gave our middle son the travel bug. So now that he's graduated high school, he's going to be starting pilot school. So he wants to be a commercial pilot.
Oh, that's fantastic. We
fly
need more.
international routes, see the world on somebody else's dime.
There you go.
It's a good way to go.
Yeah.
But we definitely need more qualified pilots out there too, because air travel is not slowing down, and it is the biggest challenge out there for travel right now. So you really have to pack your patience.
So what got you from the auto industry into the travel industry?
The big leap. Well, I think I knew when I was leaving Detroit, like that's all there is, right? It's automotive, it's automotive adjacent, everything. That's all Detroit was about at the time. And I knew I wanted to try something else and get into a different industry. And I love movies, I love books, and I love travel. Nashville has all of those things.
Yes, we do.
So while I was here working with Nissan, I was checking into other things. I was helping doing some independent film marketing, meeting producers, and working through a few projects, and looked into the book market because we have a huge publisher here.
Yes, we do.
And I looked at some of those different opportunities. But I found Travelink, who's celebrating 30 years this year.
Oh, wow.
And I really found them, and I thought, is this really a thing? Like, do people use travel advisors today? Because my personal experience with them had been for just business travel, right? I had to go somewhere for work, and I had to use this particular travel agent, and they booked my tickets, and that was kind of it, but never for leisure. And I had always been a DIY, do-it-yourselfer, right?
Sure.
So
most people are.
There are a lot, and there's a lot that you can do that's simple. But I found the true value of vacation travel advisors just in the many meetings I had with them when they were looking for a head of marketing. And it took about 2.5 months. I think we met 6, 7 different times before I made the leap to the travel industry. And ready to take on a whole new vocabulary. You know, when you join a new industry, there's a whole new vocabulary that comes with it. And that's what...
Tell me about it. I left the music business for real estate. Go figure.
Yeah. And now you got different licenses and all kinds of
things. I have no license. Nor do I really know all the lingo, but, they let me show up anyway.
We intentionally do not have him get licensed.
Yeah, well, that's a whole nother
He's a
podcast.
Free spirit. You cannot put a license on a free spirit.
Thank you.
So anyway, no, it was really a personality thing. It was a lot of meeting with the owners and just working through it. And at the time, they were associated with American Express Travel. And so they had been a great brand, and I'd always been associated with great brands. So before Nissan, I had been with Chevrolet, I had been with Audi of America, and before that Chrysler. So I had been with big brands, and the American Express part was really the thing that drew me in. And so it's been 12 years of growing and learning constantly. But I think one of the biggest things was American Express, during my first several months on the job, nominated me to the Travel and Leisure Magazine Advisory Board. And that was within my first year in the industry. And now I'm sitting on a board that has the titans of the industry. There's billions of dollars in sales around the table from these experts who've been doing it for 30 years. And it was intimidating, to say the least.
I love it.
But they're generous. And that's the thing about the hospitality industry. Generous, kind, and willing to share. I got to pick the brains of these brilliant people who had been doing this forever and really count them as friends in addition to mentors.
So when you say doing this, what is this?
What do I do?
What do you do?
Excellent question, Van.
Thank you. I don't usually ask the right questions. Not that I asked the wrong ones, but yours are printed.
He's a planner.
He is.
You're a pantser. Seat of the pants.
Research, fan. This is research.
You do. He loves to research.
This is what they do for travel.
I love to be present with the people.
But you got to have a good foundation, right? If you're going to get anywhere, you got to have a good foundation.
That's right.
So the research is important. The experience is important.
Yeah.
Right?
That's why I'm the chief experience officer. He is the chief troublemaker. Anyway.
It's a good,
Enough about us.
it's a good match.
Someone's got to do it.
It's a good match. So what do? I run all of marketing for the entire agency. And
Oh, wow.
Our agency does also do business travel. It's actually the largest part of our agency.
Hmm.
We have a huge amount of corporate travel, managed travel that we do. We also have groups and meetings. And so Bill Hare, one of our owners, with Michael Dixon, they're both managing partners. And Bill leads the groups as well. So he'll have international groups. He's got to go, a couple thousand people over in Sweden doing a big group, those kinds of things. So he'll
Right.
run their meetings for them. And then I lead leisure travel, and my focus is luxury travel. But we also do have a group called Employee Vacation Programs, and they go inside American Express Global Business Travel companies, the Fortune 500, and offer
Right.
vacation programs to the mass employees as well.
Gotcha.
So we have travel advisors that work for me that handle everything from luxury. So you want to do Antarctica and you want to fly onto the continent. You don't want to sail in the traditional manner. So you can
Right.
fly across the Drake.
Can you go to Antarctica?
I'm going in November.
I thought it was like restricted. At least that's what I see on TikTok.
No, it is.
That's your problem. You're getting your news from TikTok.
I love TikTok. So,
Do you really?
I've learned more since
Yeah.
TikTok came into my life than I think all my years in
Wow.
school. So no, but you can go. So it is a matter of seasonal though, right? So it's kind of November until March is when you go to Antarctica. So I'm actually taking my husband this year for his birthday in November.
Oh, cool.
Very cool.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
November birthday. I have a November birthday. Maybe Ashley should take me to Antarctica.
I have a wedding anniversary. It's our 20th.
So you've been with one of the largest travel companies. You've sat on these boards. You've been exposed to the elite in the industry. What kind of trends do you see coming in the travel industry?
Oh, it's interesting because post-pandemic, it's been very difficult to nail a trend because everybody just wants to go.
Right.
And everybody wants to go everywhere they were told
get
they
me
couldn't
out of
go. Exactly. And I think some of the traditional kind of things is like, I don't think we can get any more people in Italy. Like
everyone I know is in Italy right now. It's
crazy.
True.
It's true.
What is going on?
We just had one of our DMC partners, which is a destination management company. This is how we get special things taken care of and managed, and you want entry into something or front of the line tickets, those kinds of things. And she was like, I can't take any more Italy right now. We're really booked up through the summer into the fall. So I'll have to get back to you in a couple months.
The country is booked.
Yeah.
And it was the same way with Japan. Japan, once they finally opened fully, when they opened fully, we were like, okay, everybody's going, especially for Cherry Blossom Festival. So we had people that were like, we have to plan Japan for next year because it was literally full. And Japan manages their travel differently than most countries too. So when they say they're full, they mean it.
So where's the place to go right now that nobody is going to? That's like, if anybody wanted to go somewhere, like right now, this is where I should be going.
Well, that's a challenge because you have to be willing to go a little off the beaten path.
Yeah.
And now that we're in summer, everybody wants to go everywhere all the time, right? Okay. Alaska is amazing.
I went there last year. It blew my mind.
A wonderful trip.
Never wanted to go. Never even thought twice about it.
But once you got there,
it was incredible.
It's breathtaking.
Blew my mind.
Yeah.
I'm so thankful.
Did you see all the eagles? Like you go past, and as you slowly sail
like
past,
we have squirrels in Nashville.
Yeah, they're
everywhere.
They're like in every tree,
on every street light. Yeah. It's amazing.
It's brilliant. So there's just so much to see and experience, and I think being willing to check out new cultures.
Right?
Are there a lot of street lights there that the eagles are on?
Yes, there are. Because I did miss my ship because of my flight.
You were there very late.
So I
was there when
had
the
to fly and take cabs. And
street lights everywhere.
There were street lights.
He was still at the Red Onion in Skagway long after the ship sailed away.
Let me tell you, I had to fly all the way up to Anchorage and then back down to try to catch up with the ship. I spent 4 days chasing my ship, and I did get on.
Oh my!
Thank you.
Goodness. Congratulations.
I walked right up
That's
and said,
amazing.
"Hi, I'm Van."
And they just let you on.
I guess you belong here.
Yeah, that's how it usually works.
That is,
you just walk up to the door. I am Van.
That does not surprise me because you are a pantser. See, so
a pantser.
You didn't
Fly
hear
by
that earlier?
fly by the seat of your pants. There's
Okay.
planners and pantsers. You're a
He's-
planner. He's a pantser.
Yeah. You're serving it way too easy.
Oh,
Man. You're serving it way too easy.
yeah. I'm gonna have to bring that one up
Please.
later.
Or down.
Oh,
She's on the same page.
he's
as
ready
us
with
now.
the bad. Woo. I got you.
Yes. Sorry.
No, that's okay. So where else? What else are trends? So
She's getting us back on track real quickly.
Get us back on track.
I'll pull us back.
So yeah, where's a place people aren't necessarily going, but they need to really think about going?
I think some of the places that are my favorite
Yeah.
are a little bit off the beat path. So like the Black Forest in Germany.
Oh, wow.
It's truly magical. And there is an actual fairy tale road that the
Really?
Grimm brothers traveled when they were creating all of their fairy tales. And so you can go through these amazingly beautiful little villages. And the people there are so welcoming and excited to have you there. And you can follow like the Grimm brothers stories that were created there.
No way.
Oh, yeah. And actually, Alma Waterways has an amazing partnership with Disney, and they actually do a river cruise that'll take you through a lot of that area.
I've always wanted to do a river cruise.
Okay, river cruises are my absolute favorite.
Are they? Because
hands down.
I keep looking at them, and I'm like, someday.
No, absolutely hands down. That's actually, I should have said, that is one of the biggest things that got me interested in the travel business. I didn't even know it was an option. I had been an American Express card holder,
right,
platinum card holder for many years before I joined, and I had received an Alma Waterways brochure in the mail.
They're
from them.
always sending them.
Yeah, and I pinned it up, and I told my husband, our 20th anniversary, we're gonna go see what one of these things are all about.
Right.
And fortunately, I didn't have to wait for my 20th, which is next year. I was able to take him on one. We did it for my 50th birthday. And
cool.
It was, I've done several of them now, and I will go do them any chance I get. I love the river cruising.
So are you going to speak to me after this is over?
Absolutely.
And I'll be able to text you. And
absolutely.
Like, hey.
There is nothing like going through the middle of Europe,
right,
or Africa, or even Asia and the Mekong. And some of them are now going into Colombia. They're expanding into new areas. So you get Colombia. You've got the Kimberley in Australia, which is just opening up to river cruising. So, and Viking even opened one on the Mississippi.
No way.
Yeah. Yeah. So,
that doesn't sound nearly as exciting.
I know.
About that one.
Kind of in our backyard, but it sold out completely. Like,
really?
Wow.
Yeah, people mostly from the coasts, because we can just drive over there, but mostly from the coast. But
they don't care about the ocean; they want to see the river.
Well, and I will tell you, when the entire world was not open to us yet, and you could still travel domestically, that was one that sold out right away.
That's fair.
I'm so excited.
But there's nothing like having your own comfortable cabin. It's small, so there's maybe 100 people on board, 120 at the most. The food is amazing. I've taken home recipes that I loved so much. The wine, and they do it local too. So as you're sailing through Switzerland, Germany, Austria, I mean, I even did Southeast Gems one where we went through Bulgaria and Serbia, and we went through a lot of the littler countries. And we learned about the Yugoslavian war and how things separated, and I saw it happening on CNN as a teenager. But then you see these and hear these stories that were local, and you experience it in a whole new way. And I think that's the magic of what you get when you're traveling.
What are some of the things that you guys can do to like really customize trips for people?
It's more like, what can't we do? And we try to say we'll do anything as long as it's legal. And I have some stories.
I bet.
Oh, well,
from that I probably can't share.
You can like change the names to protect the innocent.
There was, and I didn't.
Not so innocent.
My team didn't do this one personally. This was from one of the advisory board friends of mine. But there was some naked motorcycling out in the Sahara.
Well, that's one option.
No tan lines, but
right.
But you can work these things out, and there's skydiving and a lot of things that are really tactical that you might not think of. So if you want to go visit the Vatican and you want to go see the Vatican, every day the line is around the block and down the street.
Yeah.
So you want tickets to go before it opens and you want to be let in early. There are things to go see Statue of David before it opens. There's access to getting into things in separate, unique shows. Just like sometimes, here in Nashville, you can get something set up where you have
behind the scenes.
Yeah, behind the scenes things, and you never know who you're going to run into. These are a little bit more like planned who you're going to run into, or what your experience is going to be. So we try.
The Pope pops around the corner and gives you a blessing.
Maybe not the Pope, but we do try and arrange certain viewings of things that are not available that nobody else gets to see.
Right.
I just had with Marriott Luxury, we were staying at the Bulgari Hotel in Rome, which in and of itself is amazing. And there's a Netflix documentary coming out about that hotel this month. And everything is perfectly designed, but they took us to a Bulgari in behind their security to do a gems review.
Wow.
So you get to see what all those big time celebrities and the royalty pick out and how they choose their gems. It's amazing.
So did you go?
I did. It was crazy, the amount of security too.
Yeah.
So
I can imagine.
Yeah. It was really well done though. They're very passionate about what they do. So they make it very fun.
It's very concierge.
It is very concierge.
We like concierge.
Yes. That's our thing. Your real estate concierge.
It works. It fits.
What about?
I'd like to think so.
What about like AI? Do you see that changing the travel industry at all? I mean, it seems to be changing everything else.
Oh, it does. No, absolutely. I think from our standpoint on our side of things, I think the tools we work with, the data we're able to access more quickly. We see a lot of the tools that we currently are employing or deploying right now. I'm trying to implement some new tools for our team just to make them more efficient. My goal is to make sure our travel advisors are spending as much time as they can with their customers, right? It's getting to know what they want, what their desires are. People are no longer taking one big trip every year. They're taking 4 or 5, right? And then they've got little ones that they're popping in here or there. So we'll plan the little ones and the big ones, but it is multi-year planning too. We'll do 3 to 5 years. These are all the things you want to get accomplished before your kids graduate or before they go off to college, or if they're going to take a gap year and you're going to make the most of it and fly around with them so that they really understand being a global citizen. I think there's a lot of different things people have on their plates that they want to do, and we're here to help plan all of that for them. So there's a lot that we can do, not just we want to get the best experience out of Disneyland.
Right.
You want to go to Disneyland Paris and have the full day where they pick you up right at the hotel and they take you in behind the scenes and you wait for nothing and you have lunch in the palace and we have a full day that we can do. It may be $12,000 a day, but if you've got the money, you're going to get an unbelievable experience.
I told you.
Yeah, well,
it's the only way to do Disney.
You did the you had like the guys in the vests or something.
It's what she's talking about.
Yeah.
I didn't tell you the price, but the only way to go.
Yeah, I'm not a Disney fan because
you would be if you did it the way I do it.
Not for 12,000 a day.
He's not wrong.
Yeah, but you get like 10. You have like 10 people who can join you. So
I think one of the funnest things about that kind of experience is they will actually have people from that parade specifically come up to your family and to your kids as part of a whole experience. So
it is. You get
pulled into all of it. It's magic.
You get to hang out with Mickey in his house where nobody else is. You get to eat and and like our guy Angel is his name that we've used in the past, and this is out in LA. And man, you've had your fill of the rides. He looks at you and says, "I got it," and he takes the kids, and there they go onto all the rides, and they don't get off the ride. They get to stay on the roller coaster
as much as they want,
and you could just keep going on Space Mountain over and over and over. And everybody kept asking, "Are those kids on Disney or something?" They thought, it was like, no. Carrie and I are just having a little drink or a dinner or whatever.
But you can actually relax.
Yes.
And that's the whole
wonderful.
Point is everybody can enjoy the vacation.
Everybody. And then we knew where they were going to be and when, and we could pop in and ride the rides we wanted to ride. And you got to do the whole park in a day.
Yeah.
Versus
without
having
stress.
to do it with no stress.
No stress. That's the goal.
It's one, and they know where all the secret Mickeys are. I'm just saying, but I know this isn't meant to be a plug for Disney, but it's
It
pretty
wasn't.
great.
I didn't know you had done it before.
Oh, yeah.
So
More than once.
Now you mentioned a couple of cool places to go right now. And you've mentioned a few things you can get into, but like, what are one or two things like you can get people into that the typical person's not going to do because they just don't even know it's
Well,
possible?
kind of like what we just talked about. Most people don't know that exists.
right,
Yeah.
a lot of people don't know that you can VIP Disney that way.
That's right.
But if you had to pick like one or two things, like, man, these are like so cool and nobody really knows.
Ooh, like the Vatican or something.
The Vatican.
That's got to be something.
Yeah, getting people into there. Some people know about it, but when you go and you see the masses that are trying to get in, you've got to think to yourself, there's got to be a better way. And that's where working with a travel advisor will do it. One of the, I was just trying to think through what are the other things. So I went to recently, well, oh my gosh, it's been almost 2 years now, but Saudi Arabia. I spent a couple of weeks in Saudi. And I did some traveling around on my own in addition to, because I wanted to know what it was really like, right? I go to experience the culture. And I think it's a matter of the relationships we build that we're going to be able to match you with what you want your experiences to be. So while we do know about these things and work with Disney as a partner, and we have a lot of these partners globally who offer these things, I think it's a really the biggest thing about luxury is customizing it to what you want. Mm-hmm. Everybody's idea of luxury is a little bit different.
That's true.
Because what he just talked about wasn't your idea, right?
No.
That's not where you would spend your money. No. But there's probably some experiences out there that you would prefer. And sometimes it's alternative accommodations. So it's a villa instead of a hotel. And it comes with a private chef so that you don't have to, you stay private, you stay quiet, you're looking to get away.
That's your speed. You and Ashley like those like Bora Bora type things.
The overwater bungalows.
Sitting over the water.
Those are nice.
That little chef person come in and cook for you. See, my wife doesn't want anybody coming in our room.
See, and I understand that.
Yeah.
I know where your wife is coming from because I used to be that way.
Yeah.
And this sounds really bougie, but you'll get really used to butlers.
Oh yeah, that's true.
My kids actually will tease me, but they got to experience it at last July. We did a long weekend. Just went down to Jamaica for a long weekend. The beaches has new villas there. And so we were in the Starfire Sky Villa right on the beach. And it's an all-inclusive, but you never are with everybody else. You're in your own little area. And you want pizza, and the butler brings it. And you don't go, there. And we did go on our final day to the main breakfast area because we could order it in our room, and they served us dinner on the beach, and they brought what do you want? We could all order from different restaurants at the place.
Which is wonderful.
And they just bring it in. It's fantastic. But that last morning, we're like, okay, we're getting ready to leave. We're all packed up. We just went to go have a quick breakfast. And Sophia, my daughter, wanted crepes. And they were at the little coffee shop.
Right.
And there's a line at the door. And Conrad, our amazing butler, was like, hold on. And he went and got him for her and brought him right to the table. I mean, you really get used to the service because I think it is about time.
Yeah.
Luxury time.
Even when you're on vacation.
Yes. Yeah. Because as Americans, we're terrible at it.
Right.
And we only have such a limited amount of time.
We call it van time around here.
Van time.
And don't you love when your kids call you bougie? My 13-year-old just called me that the other day. I was like, excuse me. I resemble that remark.
He ain't wrong.
I know. I can't argue with it.
This guy, he survived after some craziness, survived 4.5 months on a ventilator through COVID. And that's a whole nother podcast right there.
Yeah, I was gonna say we couldn't talk about the pandemic for
when
hours.
He came back to life and everything happened, we took the whole staff to Jamaica.
Oh, wonderful.
And we went because that's where they love to go. We all had the butlers, the whole thing.
And they would bring stuff from off resort.
Oh yeah, the mangoes and all that.
Yeah, we'll get it.
But these guys, they go there all the time. I'd never taken my family there, definitely not our staff. I mean, that's not something we've done before as a company. And so we go to the place they like to go, and we got this place, and we have the pavilion, private, everything's private and all this stuff. And we get there, and I didn't at the time have prescription sunglasses.
Oh, right. Okay.
So we're walking out to our beautiful what do you call it, pavilion or whatever it was?
Cabana.
Cabana. There we go. Cabana.
Yes.
Giant cabana, right? Fully stocked. And I'm like, who? All those people? Why they're all wearing matching swimsuits? And I'm like, what is that about? And and my wife starts to laugh, and I'm like, what? Because I can't tell. I'm
You
like,
can't
look,
see.
I did. They all look the same, way out. And I said, the people in the right next to our cabana over there, well, they're all. Why are they wearing the same swimsuit? Are they on a team or something? She goes, oh, baby, they're not wearing swimsuits. And it turned out they booked us a cabana right next to a nude beach. And I mean, it wasn't clothing optional. It was clothing prohibited.
Oh my goodness.
And then I'm thinking, oh my goodness, we have staff.
And where are the kids?
We have all of our kids. We have our staff. We have their. And I'm like, is this an HR issue?
Oh.
Do I have to? I have no HR forms with me. I'm on the beach.
Need a
What do
waiver.
we do?
I need a waiver.
What do we do? Pull the curtains on the cabana. Like, oh my goodness. I'm like, okay, you have a choice of whether or not you want to look to the right. Because if you do, there's a lot floating on the water over there.
Oh my goodness.
And sure enough, we spent a week with a bunch of nudists. So,
But celebrating life.
and we
and
were
that's-
celebrating life for sure.
They all
A
enjoyed
lot
it.
of life.
What? So talk to us a little bit more.
On that note,
Are you going to bring us
he's
back?
going to pivot.
I'm
He's
trying.
going to pivot.
I don't know where we're at on this list. Where are we at?
Talk to us more.
By the
about
way, I did get some prescription sunglasses after that trip.
That was
Yeah, I did.
that was
I
your
did.
that was your hint.
I was like, I guess I need prescription.
I thought you were going to say the butler brought you prescription. I
Yeah.
was like, wow, that's amazing.
Yeah. I didn't want to zoom my eyes into that
Well,
week.
you know.
I figured I could walk in some blur. That week was fine.
I'm on vacation. I
That's
don't need
right.
to know.
I don't need to see all that.
Talk more about the employee program. We talked about taking our staff. How does that typically work? And do you see, is that mainly like really big companies that do that, or are there small businesses that take advantage of something like
There
that?
are a lot of small businesses out there.
There are a lot of small businesses out there. A lot of the biggest things that we do have been obviously for the big companies, the
Sure.
Fortune 500, because they actually have negotiated corporate rates, right, for
Right.
hotels and cars.
My wife's in big pharma, and my goodness, they have the best trips.
Yeah. Well, they also have great rates, and we are the only vacation provider as part of American Express GBT to be able to offer those for leisure. And so that's a huge employee benefit for those companies, so that everybody, not just road warriors who are traveling for work, can enjoy those negotiated rates. For smaller companies, we still have a lot of things available to them because we are part of a consortia called Virtuoso. Virtuoso is a luxury consortia, but we also have partnerships inside there with a lot of the mass brands that you'd be familiar with, the Royal Caribbeans of the world. Celebrity Cruises is more of a premium brand. So it's not all just the highest end luxury, the Silver Seas of the world. I'm hitting that whole family right there. But it's Silver Sea, Celebrity, and Royal Caribbean when it comes to kind of the amount of money you spend and the different kind of experiences you get. And I have families who travel on all three of those. Same family, but they're going for different purposes. So in some cases, a Royal Caribbean is going to fit because maybe you're going multi-gen, right? You're going with cousins and aunts and uncles, and you got a group and a whole bunch of family members going. And you might do Celebrity because just you and the spouse are going, and you just want to go hang out with more adults, and their itineraries kind of reflect that too. The ships reflect that, right? Because Royal Caribbean is going to have more of the kids stuff going on, and the water slides and all of that.
Right.
And then you go up a level to Silver Sea, and that's where your luxury is and your butlers are, and the itineraries reflect a more mature and experienced traveler as well. So no water slides on the new Silver Moon.
Glass bridges.
No, but they do have amazing cuisine.
Well, what kinds of challenges do you see for the travel industry?
We've been battling a lot, as you may have heard, with airlines. And so American Airlines recently had been just battling it out with all of us, trying to change the rules really quickly, not bringing their travel partners along. But I think for us as an industry and travelers right now, the airlines and how they're managing their staff and where their planes are is one of the biggest challenges we're seeing. I personally just came back from the Middle East, and coming in from Dubai, I had everything was smooth sailing, and I got to JFK, and then I had 2 flights booked because it was the day before the twins were graduating high school.
Oh, wow.
I had to get back. And so I had a Delta and an American flight both that day out of JFK to make sure I was going to get home.
Well, you really are smart.
It's not my first rodeo.
Wow.
So
I love that.
The first flight got delayed,
of course,
and then canceled. The second flight, and that was American, so I then had to go get my bags and get to a different terminal to go check in for the Delta flight, which had also been delayed. And I highly recommend. Everybody loves travel hacks, right? It's really just the best way to find your way through the crazy right now. And if you can get clear, there's a new thing.
I was going to ask you.
You got to have it.
Is it the TSA PreCheck or Global Entry, or what's the one to get?
All of it. All of it.
Even the
they already
the branded ones.
They already have your biometrics, and the U.S. government knows where you go. So why would you not go ahead and be part of the program, so that you can skip the line?
So that it's called Clear.
So there's Clear.
Okay.
That is a branded one. That's not the U.S. government, but they're partnered with them, right? And so Clear is an option. You can get PreCheck, but I highly recommend just going straight for Global Entry. I made sure my kids got it. My husband, I was like, I know my husband only travels.
Mine just expired.
Oh, no, don't let it expire.
It did. It just expired.
Okay, if it just expired, go on the portal and just get an appointment scheduled. Just file for the re-up right away. Don't let it sit, because it'll take months to get the interview if you do. So, but you have to have it. I told Paul, I was like, if you don't get it, he's like, but I only travel with you like internationally once or twice a year. I'm like, but I will leave you in that line.
That's right.
I will leave. I will go grab your Starbucks for you and wait for you on the other side.
That's right.
But I'm not standing in that customs line.
No.
Especially when they have 6 international flights come in at one time.
Yeah.
And you can't take kids over a certain age.
No, they have to have their own. So my twins also have Global Entry. Yeah. So it's very important, because you don't want to lose connection time.
Right.
Is really what it is, and time wasted, because you never know what you're going to come into with customs. So Clear, Global Entry. There's some digital IDs now that are available, and they will scan your face instead of even looking at your boarding pass or scanning your boarding pass. The other thing is Mobile Passport. A lot of people don't realize Mobile Passport is an app you can download, and you just upload your passport information to that. And sometimes that's faster. A girlfriend of mine, who's actually the CEO of a very large luxury travel agency, hers expired, and she was so embarrassed, but she was traveling with us, and we were several of us were on the same flight coming back across the water. Right. And something had happened with the Global Entry, and she beat us through in the Mobile Passport line.
No way.
I stumbled across that several years ago. It was in a travel magazine. They mentioned this MPC app, and literally
it's a free download.
Yeah, it only works certain airports, but it's most of the airports that
Miami and
yeah. And you go through where the diplomats go through. And it was amazing.
Yep.
Literally, I think there was 1 or 2 people in front of us, and we were like, phew.
Yeah. So that's right. There isn't.
I don't have my pen with me, so I'm gonna have to watch the podcast so I can remember all these.
You've got to have them all.
Yeah.
Because you never know what's going to help you. And the security at our airports is different everywhere.
That's true.
Yeah.
And so you never know. Miami is so different, and the experience when you come in is so different from JFK. It's
we
from
learned
Charlotte.
that with that recent
Jamaica?
Case in Turks and Caicos. That person got through all the different airports around here, and he had a bullet in his bag for his backpack and got arrested coming back. Man. Scary.
You never know. There's been a ton of times when I got stopped and they went through my stuff, and I was like, I've already been through 3 airports.
How is this possible?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So you mentioned these memberships. Are there other 1 or 2, 3 tips that people just don't think about doing that would really enhance their travel experience if they thought to do it?
I think you should always have some snacks on hand. So
Mm.
I don't leave home without protein bars. You never know in the transit as well. So we try and prep our clients like, okay, your transfer from the airport is going to be this long, but you could get stuck in traffic somewhere.
True.
It could be that a transfer got stuck and they're not going to be there for a while. You could get stuck on the tarmac for a few hours.
My most hated.
Everybody's most hated. And you're trying to, again, pack your patience
Right.
and recognize like the flight attendants can only do so much. You know they're going to deal with somebody unruly on the plane. You
That's
don't want to
right.
be it,
Yep.
right? So eat your protein bar and don't be,
Yeah, be
crabby.
invincible.
Yeah. I don't know if you guys remember those commercials with Snickers with Betty White.
Yes,
yeah.
they
So
were
my
the
husband
best.
still will call me Betty White.
Love
when
it.
I'm
I love it.
hangry and
Yes.
I've got to have something, he's like, okay, Betty White.
That's so
And
good.
that's my clue to go get something to eat. But that's why always pack some protein bars with you.
Right.
And I have because I avoid most things that are liquid, right? So I always look for those things because I save the liquid for like I have to have my foundation and I have to, we have to sparingly travel with liquid on us. But I always make sure I've got an extra pair of clothes in my carry-on.
Right.
I've got, I can't tell you how many times I've had my bags delivered to my house, right? Or delivered to my hotel because they didn't join me at the same time. So one spare extra set of clothes and facial wipes are fantastic for just really giving you a lift and making you feel not so gross if you've been traveling for a very long time.
Right.
Are there any tricks in dealing with the airlines to get like free upgrades or anything? I mean,
they are all about
Really?
they are getting to the point now where they are understanding their customers, right? So we are living in the information age and data overload, and a lot of people haven't known what to do them, and they're getting so much better at recognizing who has the most value. And it's not the road warriors anymore. It's not just those guys who are putting in the miles because work makes them. They have really pivoted and started looking also at those vacation travelers. Who are those people buying business class? Who are those people who generally are putting in real trips with them? And so there are times where I fly a lot, right? But I have to fly everybody. If you're going to be consistent and always put your butt in a Delta seat or always put your butt, you know what I mean? Like if you pick an airline, they will recognize your loyalty and you will start to see upgrades come through your app. And that's the biggest thing is always make sure you have the app. So even when I'm trying out new airlines, so I've flown Etihad before to Abu Dhabi. This time was my first time flying Emirates Dubai, but I also did a little in country. Well, it wasn't in country because I flew to Oman, but for the weekend I flew Fly Dubai back. I'd never flown Fly Dubai. I want to check them out, right? It was brilliant. It was such a great, clean, modern plane, super efficient. But I download the apps because even though I'm not going to use it for more than this flight, right? I may not fly them again, or I may fly them in 2 more years. Use it for that, whatever you're traveling on, to make sure you're getting up to date notices.
That's interesting. I did love Emirates.
Yes,
because I did fly them 3
Did they give you jammies?
Oh,
I saw.
Love it. They give you jammies
Yeah,
to wear.
it was Emirates, and Singapore Air was another one.
Yes.
I saw this on TikTok.
Oh, did you?
It was the new the A380s or
I
whatever
saw
it is.
Oh, the A380s are nice.
Yeah, there's a 3-room suite you could get.
Yeah.
It's got like a living room that'll sit, I think, 4, and then it's got a full like bathroom with a stand-up shower, and it's got a bedroom with a double
They
bed.
are trying to outdo themselves. You know, it is a little bit of competition at that level.
Yeah, I guess.
I just flew the A380 with Cathay Pacific over to Hong Kong in March, and it was magic. But I think aside from the attention-seeking, big headlines that they're trying to get, their everyday business class and the experience and the service you get and the food is so good. So good.
So what's your opinion on business versus first?
Well, first class
is it worth it?
Is always first.
It's always first. They get you there first, technically.
Technically, they do.
But is it worth it?
I think, again,
because often it's more than double.
A lot of the time it is. but it depends on what you're looking for.
Right.
So if you just need the lay flat seat because it's a 14-hour flight and you are not, going to do that sitting up the whole time,
Right.
then business class is great.
Right.
And their service is good and the food is always elevated. If you're looking for comfort and more space and maybe even more privacy, then that's where you go for first. And because you can.
And because you can.
That's the most important reason to go first.
I have a van and I can.
That is your new
and Doug
tagline.
Bougie.
Doug Bougie. This is a van intervention.
I cannot deny.
I don't think this is a van intervention. I take
I'm
that
just
back.
saying.
I think I'm feeding it.
It's a van intervention. Oh.
What about like up and coming places? Is there anything you think like you're seeing the governments are doing something or something's developing and like these in the next 5 or 10 years, everybody's going to want to go there?
I think there's a couple of things that jump to mind. First of all is Portugal. Portugal's really gaining a lot of traction for those people who've already done Italy, Spain, France. They want something a little bit different. And they're diving deeper into Portugal. So going beyond Porto and Lisbon and going deeper into the country, there are some river cruises on the Douro River that really help you do that too. So we can talk about that. But I think Portugal's really up and coming. And then things nearby. So Malta. Malta is really an amazing little island country. And it's more international than you might think. The Ritz-Carlton Tenerife, it's actually Ritz-Carlton Abama in Tenerife. It's part of Spain, but if you look at it on the map, it's really right off the coast of Africa. And it in itself is a destination and is a magical place too. Wow. So I would say that's one kind of thing to look at is some of those interesting things in the Mediterranean kind of European area. The newest development that a lot of money is going into and that all of the luxury properties are building is the Red Sea development off the coast of Saudi Arabia, closest to Jeddah. I was very fortunate enough to go see the F1 race in Jeddah.
Oh, wow.
I was very spoiled. But while I was over there, I was meeting with them and the Saudi Tourism Authority, and we saw all the plans. We met with Red Sea Development, and we saw their plans, and literally every luxury brand you could imagine is building some sort of magnificent resort. So if you went to Google and see what's going to be built off the coast there, and they're really looking at changing the rules so that when you're on property, you have different rules than you have in the rest of Saudi.
Oh, wow.
And the government is evolving very quickly. They're under a BS. So there's still a lot of work to be done.
Right.
And it is the only place I've ever visited where the minute I was there, from the very first day, all through my 2 weeks, I had women thanking me for coming.
Really?
Yeah. There were several of us women who, when we were traveling or we were out shopping and we were talking with the locals and asking them, we went to Abaya shopping and asking, how do we do this? And met a beautiful woman named Amal who was just teaching us all about how to do this with our hair and how to pick it out. And she was amazing. But she thanked us for coming because the more we travel, the more it opens up the world and makes it a better place for everybody.
That's right.
And we don't have to, when the governments lift those kind of rules, it makes it better for them and for us. Mm-hmm. So us going improves their quality of life.
Absolutely.
So I think the Red Sea development is definitely one to keep an eye on.
Very cool.
Well, very cool. Well, with that.
What?
We're running up on time. So.
What?
Already?
How's that possible?
Yeah,
Did you ask all these questions? You had a lot of questions here.
We had a lot of questions. Yeah,
I don't know.
We went through most of it.
I'm reading some of these. They're pretty. How do you leverage your role on the advisory board to enhance service operate? I don't even know what that means.
I never.
I appreciate our conversation.
This is like starting point.
Oh, okay.
It's all about relationships.
It is, and the experience.
It is. The relationships help with finding the right experiences for customers. I would say that's one of the biggest.
But I think it's definitely fair to say that we need to get to know Sandy much better.
Yeah, she's my new close friend.
Your bougie friend.
I know.
Bougie friends together.
I like it. So what do you want people to know about? Like, why were you willing to come here and be on our podcast and be a part of this crazy moment here?
No, well, first of all, thank you. You guys invited me.
Thank you.
And I looked up some of what you guys were working on, and I love Nashville, right? So we
Yeah.
love to support other
Yeah.
Nashville businesses. This is our home, and we're part of the community as much as we can be. We've been a longtime supporter of the Nashville Symphony,
Love
their
it.
fashion shows, and bringing
Yes.
in the guests and MCs that have come in.
And the Skirmahorn is the best.
Yes.
Just love it.
Oh my God, I saw Tony Bennett there.
Yeah, I saw Tony Bennett there.
I was there because we sponsored it. We did. We sponsored that concert. It was amazing.
Someday
when
I'll
he
be a-
set down the microphone.
When he set down the microphone and he
cried.
turned, he literally walked up to the piano, set it down, and he turned around and faced the room, and he said, "Fly me to the moon."
It was magic. I cried. I cried. I totally cried.
Right there, just thinking about it.
It was
right
amazing.
here.
It was amazing.
I'm so
Travelink
excited.
sponsored that.
Yes.
So
Yes.
no, it was an amazing event. But TPAC, we work with TPAC. We work with
Which is wonderful.
Yeah, Cheekwood with the Swan Ball. We really tried to get involved here locally. You guys are representing Nashville, and we wanted to come and just have a chat.
Well, for people that want to get a hold of Travelink, either to book something or to talk to you about the employee programs or any of that stuff, what's the best way to go about doing that?
Well, our website is travelink.com, and it's Travelink with one L. A lot of people try to put two, but that's There is actually a company out there with Travelink with two L's. They're based in Europe, and they do a lot of. They're kind of like an Expedia over there. So sometimes we get their calls, and I can always tell when it's one of theirs. But Travelink with one L.
They're not bougie.
They're not bougie. That sounds terrible, doesn't it? But no.
It's Euro Expedia.
Well, there's nothing like having
bougie about
somebody
that.
upset with you in several languages,
Right,
and you're like, "Oh, that's not our company." But no, Travelink with one L, TRAVELINK.com. Has all our information, all our contact information. We're obviously listed here locally, 615-367-4900, and I'm there too. You can ask for me.
Awesome.
And that's Sandy Schadler.
Sandy Schadler.
That's right.
That's all right.
It was a pleasure having you on the show.
It was very fun, guys. Thank you for having me.
And with that, we'll see you guys next time. Well, that's a wrap on today's episode of Behind the Curtain, Nashville's Movers, Shakers,
and Tastemakers.
We hope you've been inspired by the stories of passion, perseverance, and innovation right here in Nashville.
A big thank you to our guests for sharing their journeys and to you, our listeners, for joining us. And of course, our gratitude to Accord Real Estate for making this conversation possible.
Don't forget to follow or subscribe to our podcast on your favorite platform.
Thank us.
Yes, you did.
Oh, I guess I did. Well, thank us. Okay.
Like I was saying.
Oh, yeah.
Don't forget to follow or subscribe on your favorite platform to catch every episode and hit that notification bell. We've got plenty more fascinating guests lined up, ready to share their insights and inspirations.
And we love hearing from you. So reach out to us with your thoughts, questions, or suggestions for who you'd like to hear from next.
Until next time, keep chasing your dreams and making your mark in Nashville.
Oh, my goodness.
Remember,
I'm talking to Casey
it's
Kasem.
the people behind the scenes that make the city shine.
I love it. Take care. See you behind the curtain.